Top stories at the Sawa. The DA and Chatsworth residents march against Malema and a rhino poacher denied bail. Good afternoon. With the news at 3 o'clock, I'm Lulu Gabu. The DA and residents of Chatsworth, south of Durban, have staged a march in protest against ANC Youth League President Julius Malema's use of a derogatory word referring to the Indian community. Malema has since apologized. The DA's leader in KwaZulu-Natal, Safm3pm, says racist utterances by people holding senior positions in society should be condemned.
We are therefore saying in this march, we are a united country. Our vision of a united country, a rainbow nation, which was always articulated by Nelson Mandela, is what should actually be driving us. All of us as different races in our different cultures, but also in our different religions. We are a very diverse country, and we should acknowledge and honor the diversity that exists or that is there in our country and in our province. He has since apologized, yes, but it's not the first time that these statements have been made. And probably it is time now that we are able to actually stand up and say, hang on, enough is enough. We cannot continue with leaders going on to actually make these racial or racist utterances.
An alleged rhino poaching syndicate leader who illegally used permits acquired by prostitutes and strippers to hunt rhino has been denied bail by the High Court in Johannesburg. Last month, the Kempton Park Magistrates Court ruled that Chumlong Lemtongtai was a flight risk. He challenged Magistrate Eric Mhlari's decision this week, saying it was unconstitutional to deny him bail because he was not a South African. He is expected to reappear in the Kempton Park Magistrates Court on November the 8th. Parliament will push for a legally binding agreement at the 17th Conference of Parties in Durban next month. This after Parliament concluded a consultative seminar on climate change aimed at helping all three tiers of government and civil society to understand South Africa's position on climate change. House Chairperson Cedric Frolick.
The issues that were emphasized was the operationalization of the Green Fund. There's a general feeling that the fund is not achieving its objectives because the money is simply not reaching the countries that has been worst affected in the world by climate change. And then also there is a general feeling that there should be a legal binding agreement in Durban to ensure that the undertakings and commitments that are given at these conferences indeed are implemented.
Moving on to international news, a Commonwealth panel tasked with recommending ways to enhance the organization's relevance has called into question the likely impact of a set of 30 reforms announced yesterday. The Eminent Persons Group has expressed doubt that the changes will make the Commonwealth more effective. Commonwealth leaders meeting in Perth, Australia yesterday endorsed reforms that would allow for assistance to countries where democracy is under threat. Tulasizwe Simelani reports.
It's a question of whether the changes to the mandate of the Ministerial Action Group are sufficient to curb errant behavior by member states, or do they need to be supplemented by further safeguards? Eminent Persons Group member Michael Kirby of Australia says the ministerial group reforms are a step in the right direction.
The Australian government has expressed concern that a decision by national air carrier Qantas to ground all its aircraft will seriously affect the economy. Hundreds of South Africans will be affected when the planes are grounded tomorrow because of a long-running dispute with trade unions. The BBC's Duncan Kennedy reports from Perth.
This drastic action will lead to the cancellation of hundreds of flights and will disrupt the travel plans of thousands of passengers. The company is to ground all its flights from now on, though flights currently in operation will continue to their destinations. Qantas says a series of strikes has cost it nearly $70 million. It said the move to ground the flights would cost it $20 million a day. Flight crews, baggage handlers, maintenance crews and others have all been involved in a series of rolling strikes over pay and conditions and plans by Qantas to move some of its operations into Asia.
And finally, Thailand's Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra says flood water wrecking the capital Bangkok should start to recede next week. She says the volume of water from inundated northern provinces is falling as authorities speed up drainage rates. The low-lying Thai capital's defences have so far mostly withstood high coastal tides, but Matt Cochrane from the Red Cross in Bangkok says hygiene and sanitation are becoming increasing concerns.
The huge volume of water that built up in the central provinces to the north of Bangkok is still moving steadily into the capital city. So district by district, there are more parts in the northern suburbs which are coming underwater. At the same time, we have over the next couple of days peak high tides, which means that the Chao Phraya River, for instance, which is a main waterway through the city, which is already at a very, very high level, that could burst its banks. It's already overflowing its banks in some districts, in some areas.